Now, welcome back to Calling It. So, Celtic got back to winning ways with a 3-0 win at home to Motherwell. James Forrest opened the scoring. Ajeti got another goal for Celtic, and Christopher Julian got forward and got a goal as well. A good enough performance from Celtic overall, as was expected. Again, I do want to stress that we're playing against Motherwell. They haven't won a game this year, so it was expected that Celtic bounced back from the disappointment of the European exit during the week. As for Neil Lennon's starting lineup, he went for the exact same team again this week. I thought that he might have made some minor changes. I thought El Ahmed would have dropped out of the team, but he stuck to his guns, and that's probably the stubbornness of the man. He thought that he put out a team that were good enough to win in Europe, and they just weren't during the week. So he stuck to his guns. Christie started up front again, and in the first half it was lackluster. It looked slow. They dominated the ball, but Celtic will dominate the ball throughout most of the league games throughout the year, so that's to be expected. As for the first goal, Cal McGregor, man of the match in this game, excellent again. But that's the performances we expect from Cal McGregor, and I do think he's better when he starts getting into the opponent's half and actually penetrating those lines. He has the footwork, he has the vision, and he has the ability to pick out passes like he did for James Forrest. And it's an excellent finish for James Forrest. He came under criticism over the last week or so for his performances, for his end product, and he delivered today. So it was a great finish, and that will do him the world of good. I know Neil Lennon was saying after the game that will help him. It should help him, and hopefully it does, because if James Forrest is playing well, then Celtic generally do well going forward. As for Ajeti's goal, I think the key point here for Ajeti's goal is that is why Celtic need an actual striker playing up front. Christie is a good player, but he's not a striker. He doesn't get into strikers' positions, and where Ajeti was for that goal, that's where your strikers are destined to be. That's where they should be, and it was good vision as well to pick him out. So it was a good finish. Great to see him getting another goal, and if he can get up, he has 2 weeks now off for the international break. If he gets up to fitness, he's definitely a good option to have, either off the bench or starting up front if Edouard isn't fit. And then for the final goal, Jeremy Frimpong, who came off the bench, he picked out a pass very well, and he got forward well as well. And I suppose before the game, I thought Frimpong would have started because El Ahmed was at fault for the goal during the week. But you see what Frimpong adds to the team as opposed to El Ahmed. He gets forward, he's dynamic, he's fast, hard to deal with. So if he can get his end product like he had it today, then he's going to be a really good player for Celtic going forward, and probably a starter. We saw Neil Lennon switch to a 3 at one stage as well, and if Celtic can manage to get into that formation, it does look like they're a little bit more, they've got a little bit more going forward with 3 at the back and pushing men forward, getting more strikers on the pitch as well. Klimala is an odd one. He came off the bench today, and it's an interesting one. It's hard to know if Neil Lennon actually fancies him, if he rates him, because he says that he's not fit, he says that he's injured sometimes, but at the end of the day, he's been there since January. He's had enough time to get fit. If he's not fit at this stage, then he's not putting in enough effort. Maybe that is the issue. Maybe the issue is that Neil Lennon doesn't rate him. He got a few chances today, didn't take them, so he doesn't look to be as clinical as Ajeti would be. Going forward now, a couple of weeks break. It's probably good for Celtic that the break is coming at this point. Hopefully the players will come back injury free and also coronavirus free, because it is massively important that they don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks, or the league or more league games aren't postponed for Celtic going forward after this international break. So hopefully they'll come back, they'll settle in a little bit more. Hopefully they'll still be at Celtic. The likes of Christopher Ayer may not be at Celtic by the time the international break comes back. Shane Duffy could be at Celtic by the time the international break comes back, and hopefully Edouard, who is injured, we don't know if he's actually injured or not, he hopefully, by the grace of God, will still be at Celtic come the end of the international break, because if they're going to win 10 in a row, he's going to be the man that's going to bring us there. So again, good performance from Celtic as was expected. Don't want to build into this too much, because it's a 3-0 win against a team that haven't won a game this year, and we're going to come up against those teams like Ross County coming up now shortly as well. You're going to come up against teams that you should be beating, and you shouldn't get carried away when you do eventually beat them by 2 or 3 goals. So you'll take the 3 points, you'll take the confidence booster again, but doesn't distract from the issue at hand that Celtic need to rebuild badly if they want to compete in Europe, because they haven't been good enough in Europe over the last couple of years. That's where you want to be competing at the highest level. Get the 10 in a row done, that's fine, but you're not going to attract top Champions League talent by getting the 10 in a row. You're not going to do it. You're going to attract them by playing in the Champions League, and you can't play in the Champions League unless you have that top talent. So good win for Neil Lennon. Hopefully after the international break, come back, get some more wins, and maybe hopefully get into the Europa League as well. So 3-0 Celtic, 3-0 against Motherwell. What did you think of the game? Did you think Ajeti should be starting? What are you thinking of Neil Lennon so far? Do you think he's actually the man that's going to lead Celtic 10 in a row? A lot of skeptics out there. I'm Andy Call. This has been Call Again. Subscribe to the channel if you want more, and we'll chat to you later.